Today, we're going to introduce inspiration tactic number 4, putting the sales team first always. So welcome to the game-changing insights that will transform your sales team from just a group of individuals to an unstoppable force. Today, we're diving deep into why the most successful sales managers always put their sales teams first. Stay tuned to uncover the secret to shared success and how you can become the sales leader your team not only needs, but deserves. Sales success is not just about individual contributions. It's about how a team harmonizes to become more powerful than the sum of its members. And as a manager, it's crucial to prioritize your team above all else. And this means sharing credit for success, putting the team before personal achievements, and fostering a supportive environment, which includes protecting them from all evil forces, like the accounting department, and any other motivational killers, like rejection. Sales success hinges on the symbiotic relationship between two crucial groups. One, the frontline sales team driving revenue, and two, the strategic support system operating behind the scenes. And for high-level salespeople transitioning into management roles, adopting a conscious and deliberate mindset around this key point is essential. As a results-driven sales manager, they must not only provide necessary support and resources, but also cultivate an environment that fosters team synergy and individual growth. This shift in role requires more than just tactical support. It demands a deep understanding of leadership dynamics and team psychology. And unfortunately, many new managers underestimate the significance of this shift. And this leads to leadership struggles and performance shortfalls, all due to the fact you just don't know what you don't know. And that's why I'm bringing it to you today. This tactic is designed to help you understand how embracing these nuanced responsibilities early on can set the stage for sustained team success and your own personal leadership development. And the bonus, we like bonuses. The bonus to adopting this tactic is achieving your goal of sustained, improved sales success. That becomes much easier, far easier, with less stress and very little drama. So some key points we're going to be covering is earning the trust and confidence of your sales team as their leader, and that is absolutely essential for effective support. Also, they need to know that you have their back, especially when facing challenges. Let's move into it. To truly put the sales team first, you must stand with them during conflicts and problems. Your team is watching to see if you'll let them down or will you support them? Do you have their back? In critical situations like scheduling, inventory, or compensation, commission decisions, it's important to advocate for your team's interest, provided it aligns with ethical and operational guidelines. When you advocate for your team, when you become the biggest supporter and having the back of your team and consistently doing what is right for them, you inspire them. And that inspiration drives them to exceed expectations. People work for people. When you advocate for your team and consistently do what's right for them, you'll be inspiring them to exceed expectations. You drive their success. You provide them the inspiration they need to push harder and go further and work longer and be smarter. Your actions speak louder than any words, especially when we're building a sales team. As you develop this habit of leading with integrity, advocating for your team, well, watch the incredible results that will follow. Now, let me get down into some nuance of this. Problem solver. You as a manager, you as a leader are a problem solver. In fact, your sales team are problem solvers. As a sales manager, this involves collaborative efforts with your team. Open the communication. Open communication is essential. Creating an environment where your team members feel comfortable discussing challenges openly and honestly, that they can say whatever is on their mind to you and share with the rest of the team. Have brainstorming sessions when problems arise, when challenges are being faced. And that's going to involve using the techniques like 5 whys. Help determine the underlying reason and solve it at its core. When you're getting setbacks, figure out what's causing that setback and then start taking the actions to permanently destroy it. And of course, collecting data and analyzing that data, and that also plays a very crucial role. So you must have relevant metrics, and these metrics need to provide you with insight into the problem. And involving your sales team in regular problem-solving sessions, it can dramatically boost trust and respect, and that is the rocket fuel to your success. While this may open the door to a range of complaints, which many of us want to avoid, but you really want to hear those complaints. They may bring up a lot of impractical suggestions, but you want to hear those. You want them to be able to voice their concerns to you, their ideas to you, their opinions to you. And by doing so, when you become an active listener with a true open door to your sales team, you start preventing grievances. And grievances often, if not addressed, fester. And through that festering, they spread. And it spreads among the team. These complaints are a virus within your sales team. And remember, constant behind the back complaints, if you know they're existing, but they're not coming to you first, that signals ineffective leadership. It means that you need to really get your mind wrapped around, how do I get them to come to me? You want to encourage your team to bring their issues directly to you, because this not only allows you to understand and address these concerns, you always have to do something about it, but it also provides a chance to clarify why certain decisions were made. So embrace their feedback. It's an opportunity to strengthen the leadership and the relationship and the trust with them. And this all enhances team cohesion. And as a former salesperson transitioning to a sales manager, or have transitioned to a sales manager, you're primarily moving from a solo focused role where you alone were responsible for your outcomes to a position where your responsibilities have expanded significantly. It's no longer just about you. It's about leading your team and collaborating and problem solving across all the departments. This shift requires a new set of habits that emphasize teamwork and cross-departmental coordination, ensuring that your responsibilities now encompass the broader success of the organization. And also including your new habits, regular progress reviews. As you've come up with action plans to solve problems, give them progress reviews. That helps track the efficacy of solutions, not only for you, but for them. And then when adjustments are needed, you make them. You need to be cultivating a culture of continuous improvement that encourages the team to view setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. Mistakes are embraced. What do we learn from them? What do we need to do to not repeat them? Collaborating with your team and other departments, frankly, removes the success crippling mindset of them and us. And if you have that anywhere within your team, you need to work on that. And make sure you're documenting this all the way. And keep in mind, too, that it's important to actively recognize and appreciate those team members. Some will be a little more participatory than others, but recognize and appreciate those team members who contribute significantly to problem-solving efforts. If you reward them for bringing complaints to them by showing your appreciation, you're going to get more complaints brought to you. By rewarding them for bringing good ideas to you, you're going to get more good ideas brought to you. Furthermore, continuously seeking feedback is crucial for refining problem-solving strategies. And this ensures that every solution is honed and effective. This approach not only enhances individual and team performance, but also strengthens the entire organization. You may not recognize it yet, but you are a key leader within your organization, not just the sales team. You're the one that's driving the revenue that keeps the lights on. And to rock as a sales manager, create your results-driven leadership style that prioritizes the team's needs and successes and creates a powerful and motivated sales force. By sharing credit, avoiding self-promotion at all costs, and standing with your team through challenges, having a true open door with them, showing you have a very supportive environment, it's very inspirational. And when you inspire your team like this, you're going to achieve remarkable results. And when you lead with integrity and advocacy, just sit back and watch the transformation. The team's performance morale will soar. But you got to always have their backs in challenges, truly support your sales team. Sometimes that requires you to take very decisive action, maybe uncomfortable action. You're often going to be put into a situation that is not what you want to do, but it's what you must do. You have to have the discipline to stay in the fight for them. You're going to be facing some difficult situations and conflicts. And that may be new to you in your new role as a sales manager. Wrap your arms around that, own it, and drive for it. Because after all, how can you inspire your team if they're constantly wondering whether you are going to let them down? Other thing you're going to face that is very difficult for managers of all ilks, and that's internal conflicts. Internal conflicts are very common in any organization. And handling these conflicts as a sales manager can make or break your team's trust. See, these are going to be pivotal moments for you. They're watching you. They're judging you. They've got their eyes on you. And when things are going to involve a really tough decision, whether it's delivery schedules, inventory levels, resources, commissions, that's going to reveal to them whether you truly have their back or not. And the first time you face such a moment, rest assured your team is watching. They're observing to see how you prioritize their needs. So you're going to have to find a way to support your team without causing further issues. You don't need to be a drama queen either. So don't cause the situation to get worse or compromise your own ethics or standards. But you're always going to need to lean in favor of your team. And by doing so, you will inspire them. And through that inspiration, you will exceed expectations. So in wrapping this up, think about consistency. By being consistently advocating for your team, their biggest fan, their biggest ambassador, their biggest supporter, and standing up for them, as a united front. You'll see remarkable transformation, akin to how a baseball manager steps onto the baseball field to argue with the umpire against bad calls. They kick dirt on their shoes. I don't advocate you yelling like some of those coaches do, but think about how they go out there and fight. And they're doing that very often for the view that they want to give their players, the optics they want to give their players. That manager, even in baseball, has their back. So just as a manager defends their players, your steadfast support will strengthen team cohesion and build morale. And from that, your salespeople will be inspired. And that's what this is all about. And through that inspiration, they will meet and surpass your expectations. Remember, you're driving success in their attitude, their motivation. People work for people, not for companies. So they're working for you. Their success, or lack thereof, is all incumbent on you and your leadership style. And this is one that is crucial. And if you really wrap your arms around this, get involved, commit to it, you're going to drive some really impressive results. So embrace this tactic and make it a formidable best practice. Sit back and watch your team thrive. Let me put in here some of the key behaviors, the key points. Always remember, share credit. Never take credit yourself. It's always the team that gets the credit. Avoid at all costs any kind of self-promotion. Avoid power trips. Focus on your team success rather than your personal achievements. That's a big shift because you're coming from a role that it was all about you. And that's sometimes very difficult to shift that thought process, that habit, that consciousness to it's about my team, not about me. As much as you desire and want the credit for this because that's what you're used to, you now have got to share that credit exclusively with your team. So always put your sales team first. And as I've said in other tactics, regular recognition, you're always looking for opportunities to recognize and celebrate your team's achievements, publicly acknowledging any individual or collective contributions during team meetings or presentations. From this tactic, you want to make sure you're promoting collaboration. You want to foster a collaborative environment where team members support and empower each other. You bring other departments in to problem solve with you. It's just the most effective approach you can possibly take. But again, coming from a solo environment into this team environment, that may not be your first thought, may not come into your thoughts. That's why we're here. And also along these lines, emphasize that the success of your team is a collective effort. No one person can claim it entirely. There is no me in a team. And also keep in mind, you need to use inclusive communication, using inclusive language that enforces the idea that success is a shared endeavor. And avoid at all costs taking sole credit for team accomplishments. That will rot the respect they have for you. How do I do that? Keep this in mind. Minimize the use of the word I, me, and use we, our, us. So when you would love to be able to say I or me, change it to we, our, or us. And then lead by example. They're always watching you. They're going to be motivated and inspired by how you're walking the talk. So you need to demonstrate personal responsibility for team setbacks, even when it's not your fault. Take the blame. Take the blame for failures and setbacks and missed quotas. And this may be hard too, but you need to show humility by taking ownership of your mistakes, even if it's somebody else's. This is where you can use the word I, me, and my. Now let's get out there and get after it.